on this computer. Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Kathy, and it is the 16th of June, and it is Father's Day. So for those of you who have fathers on the earth plane, happy Father's Day to your father. My father's still on the earth plane. He's 96 years old. And then all of us had fathers somehow, didn't we, that brought us into life. So we're going to do our regular work, but I'm getting the messages that we are going to do activations in regards to encodements that fathers were supposed to activate, and we're going to do healing in that same area as it comes up. And then somebody before started the recording said, well, are we going to hear from Abba today? And I said, I hadn't thought about it. We can ask Abba to come in. And Abba, of course, is Father God. And those of you who are Christian, where Jesus would talk about Abba, that's his father, and it is Abba's complement, right? So when you take the Kabbalah, the tree of life, and you move down from the Ein Sof, which is the undifferentiated God, to the first differentiation of God, which is Amma and Abba. So we're going to bring precious Abba in and hear what he has to say. So let us go into our heart source. Simply say heart source, those of you who know how to do this. For those who aren't familiar with it, come to the center of your heart chakra. You can put your hand on the center of your chest and just go right in. There you go. And now, remaining in that place, move around to the back of your back of your heart chakra, which is right directly, just like in a straight line. There you go. Now go deep within. This is a very special place. The deeper you go, you will then go through, it feels like an alleyway or a tunnel or a hallway. And then suddenly you step into this expansive place, which is your sacred space. Just walk right in there, enjoy that wonderful space. And I'm getting from Amma that we're going to do some healing work in that sacred space. I'll bring you back into it later. Now move around to the front, go into the front of your third eye, there in the center of your forehead. Well, it's not exactly the center. It's just above where your eyebrows come together, and just move right above there. There you go. Go in. And if you go deep enough into the front of your third eye, you actually, if you set your intention, you will find the violet flame, which is resting there and active, but we're going to activate it even more later. Now go around to the back of your body, to the back of your head, and go into the back of the third eye. There we go. And now image, draw, intend a beam of energy connecting your heart chakra to your third eye. Just goes right up the center of you. Feel that connection. Now send that beam of energy straight up to the center of the universe. It knows right where to go. And it stays there. And now we're going straight down, all the way down to the center of the earth and go deep within the earth. You can actually just go to the core of the earth if you Good. This is your heart source. And the goal is to learn to stay in your heart source 24/7. I haven't managed that yet. I do it often, but like I was talking about me being irritable today. I had too much sugar yesterday. And then you have to remember to stay in your heart source to do things. Whenever you didn't get enough sleep, you had too much sugar, you went out, celebrated, those kind of things. That's the time to be very aware of where your heart source is and to stay there. And now, Michael's sword. Those of you who have received Michael's sword, just say, I am the sword.
I am the sword.
And those of you who have not received Michael's sword, from your heart source, ask Archangel Michael to come to you and hold out, palm up your dominant hand, and ask Archangel Michael if you may have his sword. And he will place the hilt of that sword in your hand and just close your hand around it and then turn it point up, hold it in front of your heart, and place it within your heart. There you go. I was reading some older channeled stuff. There's a course, Amma's email course, which is 366 days. And I was reading there of what I had channeled to bring in the sword. And it's a little bit different than this. And one of the things says you can have the sword in a scabbard around your waist and reach out to pull it. Now you can do this also. You may use the sword in any way you wish, as long as it's for light. If the sword is used for anything other than love and light, it just isn't active. You can't misuse the sword. Now say, I am the sword, and feel that energy expand. And now to just bring that heart source all around us. You don't need the sword part for that, but it's always nice to have it. Just say, heart source, expand to the furthest reaches of the 7th layer of my aura. Or if the aura is kind of closed in, like if you're with lots of people, some people, introverts especially, bring their aura into them. So when you hold your arms straight out and it's larger than your aura, we ask the heart source to go to the tips of our fingers. By the way, that's 360 degrees around. There you go. Now I mentioned the violet flame in the back of your third eye. We learned that in the book, Hidden Structures, the Human Energy Field, Hidden Structures. Amiel taught us that. And just say, violet flame, activate totally around the 7th layer of my aura. There you go. So you have 3 forms of protection. You have the heart source, you have Michael's sword, you have the violet flame. And now we're going to establish our healing lecture room. I got most of this from the healing lecture room from the Melchizedek method and adapted it for our purposes here. And it is another form of protection. So there is, among all of us, for all of us who ever listened to this, there is a floor of light below us, a canopy of light above us. There are pillars of light in the 4 corners. And around the 4 corners, these are all from Archangel Michael's group, are those of the angelic realm around the perimeter of the room, going from pillar to pillar to pillar to pillar and closing it up to pillar. Just notice if there are any changes within you. I could always feel the energy as it builds. And then there is a central pillar. And that central pillar holds the amazing energy of all of those who come from the other side, the masters and guides and angelic realms that come from the other side to bring assistance to us. And, well, this is interesting. I usually always see Yeshua and Buddha coming in together. They are coming in together, Buddha with his biological father when he was on the earth plane, and Jesus with who we call in the Catholic Church Saint Joseph, who the Catholics refer to as his foster father. He comes in. And all of those beings who are on the earth plane are bringing in the soul energy of the biological father for them at the lifetime that they are here. So like Hilarion, who is the Chohan of the fifth ray and works with us with healing, is bringing his biological father from his lifetime as Hilarion. Hilarion was also who we know as Saint Paul in the Christian tradition, or Paul of Tarsus. But we're bringing in Hilarion's energy. So just ask your father. Most of us, I think in the whole group that was here, we had two people, myself and one other, whose father was still on the earth plane. So just ask your father, who may not be on the earth plane anymore, to please come in. And those of us who do have him on the earth plane, ask for the soul level, SOUL level of him to come in. Joining us. Good. And now we are being invited to, from within our heart source, to go into the back of our heart chakra to our sacred space, and just feel yourself go right back there. You've already been in there once. Go back in there to the sacred space. And I want you to develop, intend, make a sacred space for you and your biological or adoptive or foster father. Always bring the biological in, but you may have somebody else who is more of a father to you. There you go. And make that sacred space area one that you and your father would enjoy being in. Now connect with your angels and guides. I'm connecting with my healing team and my healing guides. And our healing is going to be done mainly with Father God, Abba, before he gives a message to us about fatherhood and the role of fatherhood on this planet. He says it changes in different planets. So actually the next one you hear will be Abba. And if I come back in, I'll identify myself. If Hilarion is working, I'll identify him. And so the next one you hear is Abba. We are here to celebrate the rejoicing and the gratitude to the soul who played your father and brought you into life in this incarnation. Joined with the energy of the woman, the soul of the woman who brought you into life and brought to you half of your DNA. And of course, all other types of things, the two together, mother and father, to begin this life for you. For your healing today. Bring together first all of those you hold in your mind and heart that you wish to receive healing. Everyone will receive the same healing, and also healing specific for them. Call them all in. And let us ask also for the healing on the planet of all human beings who live upon this planet. Because whether they know their father or not, he played the igniting role in their life of beginning life. There you go. And we are placing, Amma and myself, a mantle of love around the entire planet. We're actually activating it even deeper than it has been for this special day. Even though it is not celebrated worldwide, we are going to bring worldwide celebration. And we ask that all of those who are having this mantle of love of a father placed over them, allow for the healing to occur as gently or strongly as you need. So first, each person be aware of that cell which activated, brought in to activation the cell known as the ovum. So we have the sperm and the ovum coming together. And notice that there is your own big bang of energy that occurs. A tremendous reverberation throughout the universe of when your life began. And the healing begins by enfolding what was becoming a cell that divides quickly, the zygote, and then it goes into 4 cells and then 8 cells until it is known as an embryo as it continues to divide. And we call upon the healing team, your healing team, to first remove any low vibration energies which may have come from that joining. Low vibration energies could come from a lack of deep love for the other partner. It could come from fear. So those of you who were the product of the very first sexual act of one of the partners, there could have been fear in there. Especially for the woman who sometimes has pain, right, during the very first one. All of the pain of creation, we ask that that be removed and neutralized. Remove all of that overlay of any pain. If there were some of you conceived in violence, healing teams, we ask you to remove all violence from that wonderful egg that has been fertilized from the zygote, so that it may grow healthy and happily. And now we're going to go through gestation very quickly. So for each month, we're going to do for each month. Month 1, from conception until the first month ended. Healing team, activate all encodements which were to be activated by a father's love. Remove any energies, any artificial encodements which came in from the father. where the artificial encodements were in place. Oh, let's remove any of the damage and altered natural encodements or clear them. And now replace all of that with love. We now ask that the same thing that we just asked for to occur in month 2. Breathe deeply. Amma calls this a plug-in, so we will call it this plug-in. Month 3. Month 4. Month 5. Month 6. Month 7. Month 8. Month 9. And for those of you that were born early, it still applies to those months. And now, a gift for each one of you, no matter whether your biological father was there or not. In this experience, there in your sacred space, he is there ready to catch you as you come from your biological mother. And if you were adopted after that, your adoptive father is there waiting as well to welcome you into the world. And now we are going to compress time since there is no time. And the energy of all of the father figures of your life, those of you who had biological foster stepfathers, adoptive fathers, those who were mentors for you, compressing all of your life from conception to now. Healing team, we ask you to go through the entire encodement system of each person here and activate all encodements which were to be activated by a father's love. Notice what is happening within your body. If you're one who doesn't feel or experience anything, know that things are happening. And now, healing team, we ask you to remove all artificial encodements that you acquired from a father's life with you. Now, what's interesting about this is you have to be willing to let them go. You have to be willing to let the artificial encodements go. So let us first say, please remove any encodements, be they natural or artificial, which are holding on to the artificial encodements. I no longer need those that are filled with pain or sorrow or grief or confusion. This is for all of your life, from conception until now. For some of you, that's getting close to 90 years, isn't it? And now ask that all artificial encodements which were removed from you be filled with love. That space that's not there anymore. Fill you with love. Those of you who may have lost a father early, are you ready to release the pain of that time and have that space filled with love? And those of you who lost a father's love early, the activation of encodements that were to be activated by a father's love, and that happens throughout life, that really applies to you. Those of you who lost a father early or even recently, know that your father has been with you in his healed self. The father that is no longer with you on the earth plane is very different than the father who was with you, because he also has been healed. He also rejoices and is in gratitude for your part in his life. And now that blanket of love that we placed over everyone upon this planet, we ask that the same experience that you have had, that they also receive healing. Now, of course, all of those who we are asking for healing for, they need to accept it. But as long as they are not rejecting it, that healing will be there. Allow it to come. You hold the space for that healing. And now, those of you who are fathers, I will not leave you out today because you are celebrated. The energy that is being created by the countries which celebrate Father's Day now, that energy goes to you. We have already done healing for your children. So now, for those of you who are fathers, we come to you and we stand before you, your angels and your guides, and me with the Father energy of love. We ask you to open yourself up to healing of those things that you believe you failed in as a father. Every father, every mother has incidences in which he believed they were not good enough. The mistakes that they made. Remember, all of this was planned. You planned it. The souls that you were parents to planned it. Release from you now those times in which you believed you were not enough or you made mistakes, things you regret, things you are ashamed of. We ask for healing. You ask for healing. We send you healing for whatever you wish. And we ask, command this healing love to go to your child or children. And we command for the activation within you of all the encodements which were to be activated by your love for your children. Many of them were activated, some of them were not. It does not matter. There is no judgment. We are in a place of no judgment right now. The only judgment is yours. Experience that love. And now, for all of you who are fathers, ask for the love of the Father, which is me, to come down into you through your crown, through your energy field, and to fill you up. And when you feel full, open your heart, hold out your hands, and send that love to your children. You may enjoy listening to this healing section often, as all occurs in layers, and your openness to receiving the healing love may unfold the more layers in which there are that are released. And now I ask you, we are turning this from a healing room into a lecture room. Make yourself comfortable, as I want to give you some words, some experiences, some thoughts having to do with the Father energy. Fathers and mothers serve different purposes. Yes, the same purpose, which is loving, is there, guiding, which is there, mentoring is there. The difference is what happens culturally. On this planet, there has always been duality. There has always been culture. There has always been an assignment of what roles the father plays and the mother plays. The coming to be a mother biologically can go from being active to passive. We're talking about the sexual experience. A woman need do nothing except lay there, correct, to receive the seed which starts creation. The father must always be active. It just doesn't happen unless you do. But even then, if you do the different types of artificial conception, you still need to do that. But recognize that the Father's energy of being active in the conception process has a different energy than the mother's reception of the seed. Once the seed is received and then the mother becomes aware that she is carrying this child, her entire being for the 9 months or until the child is born is active. May not seem active, but it is her love which fills the womb, which is active. And the Father's love also fills the womb. Except there are times the Father is not actively involved in filling the womb with love. So the energies of the two, they come together. And when they are both together in love, there is a stronger coming together within the child. But in the culture, depending upon the culture, whether it is Western or Eastern, Northern or Southern, because there is a difference in the hemispheres, there is a difference in how people look at the role of mothers and fathers. As society has progressed in many places, the father has become more active and brings in more energy. In most societies, the father is seen as a protective force, and the father is seen as a providing force. And you still battle in different places, and it is a battle at times, isn't it? Between the energy of who it is that brings nourishment to the family other than finances, other than protection. And how that occurs within your family makes differences in what happens to the child who becomes an adult and to the child who examines everything that has happened and decides how he or she will be in life. There is not just a cultural change, but a genetic, which is the culture embedded with the genes of protection within the father. It is different in a way with the nurturing that often occurs, because you have heard stories of mothers, small mothers, mothers who seem weak, who suddenly have tremendous power, say to lift a car off of a child who has been hit, to do amazing things. In many areas, the energy that comes in is to protect from the masculine and to nurture and bring forth the gifts from the feminine. This is what has happened culturally. Now, what is happening, whether you could call it metaphysically or spiritually, is that you can learn from the masculine energy that comes directly from the Father, but is within each one of you, to be proactive in your life. There is always the input of the masculine energy into the growth, whether it is human, plant, or animal. Even if you believe that you did not need a father's love, those of you who have experienced that, Yes, there is a change within you as to whether you had a father's love, a father's appreciation, a mother's appreciation. In the oneness and what is coming within the way that you are developing from the third to the fifth dimension, the two energies, masculine and feminine, and we're talking about the earth plane of duality, join together with different personalities and energies for protection and for nurturing. Different things happen within the human, different activations within your encodements when the masculine energy is both protective and nurturing, when the feminine energy is both protecting and nurturing. There is a difference between the feel, the experience, the bringing forth in life of the masculine and the feminine. What's interesting, however, is it is not always gender related. There are some women who are born, and it's more than some, who are born with more masculine energy than feminine energy. It is what they chose to do in their life. And there are some men born with more feminine energy than masculine. And you may say, but how does that show itself? Well, some women are very, very proactive, and some men are more passive. It is the bringing together and the development of your energies to the fullness of how you created yourself. Isn't that interesting? How you created yourself. Because remember, you planned this lifetime. You planned this lifetime with the souls that became your parents, the souls that became your partners and spouses, the souls that became your best friends. You planned this lifetime. Is there a difference in male or female? Or is it the difference in how you express your gifts? So it is both, and it depends upon how you decided to express your gifts in this life. The biggest thing to understand, and that your planet needs to understand, is whether it is feminine or masculine. They are both equally important. They are equally important for you, that masculine and feminine energy within you, and they are equally important for any children that you have biologically, that you have adopted, or that you mentor, because they receive the masculine and feminine energies together. I am Abba, and I participate in creation in an equally important way to Amma. And it is a different energy that occurs. It is a different energy that occurs when you are held in the womb and when you are held in the heart, as Abba energy has no womb, correct? It is not clear cut, is it? But it is equally important. There is no need for you to say, this is masculine energy, this is feminine energy, because in the oneness, it is one. You are one human being consisting of masculine energy and feminine energy, no matter what your gender is. You come together as one. Yes, depending upon your gender and your hormones, there are different energies which come forth, be they passive, be they receptive, be they intuitive, be they proactive. They are there. The need to divide this energy and one to be more important than another has been destructive within your planet. It is time to recognize in the oneness the power in the oneness. You need both a sperm and you need an egg. Without them, you cannot come together in the wholeness of who it is that you are. You need your intuitive self. You need your rational self. You need your proactive self, and you need your receptive self. They are equally important. And when one side is out of balance, you are out of balance. Your planet is out of balance. Your family is out of balance. Oneness. Oneness is the key to it all. So I'm asking you now to take a moment, and whoever are the masculine in your lives that are so important to you, yes, your father, the biological, the adoptive, the mentor, the stepfather, whoever worked with you as the father energy, send gratitude to him now. And as you are sending gratitude, think of the ways that he served you. Even if he left you, even if he did not understand you, think about what that did in your life. How did you learn? How did you become self-sufficient? How were you formed and fashioned? Send gratitude for that. And now consider the ways in which he nurtured you. If it was not a biological or adoptive father, who nurtured you? In the masculine energy. And yes, it could have been me, Father God, Abba. Send gratitude for that masculine nurturing. Whether it was tender or whether it was strong and sometimes without emotion or more from the mind rather than from the heart, it does not matter. Yes. And now bring in the maternal energy. The maternal energy who join together to bring you into being. No matter what happened after you came into being, and offer gratitude to both for the role that they played within your life. And now ask for the energy of love to fill and surround all of you. You, the maternal, and the Father. And again, healing team, we ask you to activate all needed encodements from the Father and from the Mother. And we will be sending you this energy, Amma and I, throughout this day. So it is a blessing and anointing for this day for all of you. And the Father energy. And with the Mother energy. And as Abba, I bless you. I am delighted with you and how you have been living your life. This is Kathy, and I thought that was interesting. That was really interesting. So I thank you for being here. If anybody has any quick comments to make, feel free.
Very powerful message, Dr. Kathy. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ongoing gratitude.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate all of you. You know, can have these messages without you.
Oh,
That
of
wouldn't
you.
happen.
Love to everyone. Yeah. Much love to everyone.
Yes. Happy Father's Day to all the
Take
fathers.
care, everybody. Blessings.
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 Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
God bless.
See you all.
Blessings.
Blessings.